guys, welcome to Firefall Live. As always, I'm Phobos, joined by ThaCheez and FadedPez. We are back from PAX. It has been a long week. Obviously, our voices are a little bit dry, a little bit out still, but it's been a good week. Red 5 News, first of all, for anybody just joining us for the first time, Firefall Live is a community show. We're the community team. We get together, we talk about what's going on at Red 5, what's going on in the community. We talk a little bit about what we're doing, and we answer some questions. This show's going to be a little unique.
Unique.
We have a skeleton crew behind us. They're just, they're working as hard as they can. They're all skeletons.
They're all skeletons. It's the normal crew. They're just dressed as skeletons.
Right.
Yeah, it's Halloween
weird.
apparently. Yeah. No, we've got. They're doing some filming for some other stuff, so we've got kind of some replacements and some backups. A part of that, we also didn't do rehearsal at all, so.
Well, if you watch the video,
we don't normally do a real rehearsal.
Even when we rehearse, it's not
at least
really
it comforts me.
But
to know that, like,
if you notice though, like if we don't do a rehearsal, you get what happens last week, and then everything just all hell breaks loose live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about spanking it, and I'm not even gonna.
Anyway, we're not talking about spanking again. So those of you that missed the press conference at PAX or the Firefall Live, we uploaded those yesterday, so you can check those out on youtube.com/stage5tv. Those are both uploaded. Just click the browse videos, and they're really at the top. So you can watch the full press conference where we talked about the new patch, kind of future plans, what Stage 5 is, all that kind of stuff. And then we did a random Firefall Live with a live audience for the first time ever, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was
really
cool.
fun.
That was really cool. The community came out, had questions, had inappropriate questions, comments.
Well, they had appropriate questions. We had inappropriate answers.
Right.
Absolutely, yes.
As
Because
is
we didn't
often the
rehearse.
case.
That is true.
But that was a lot of fun. It was great, and it was really nice that Mark and Scott joined the audience too to participate and even answer some of the questions. So
Yeah, I think
really
they were
cool
there
of them.
just to make sure we didn't fuck up.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, that's why we were at the press conference, though.
Equally as inappropriate, though. So
That's
it was
true.
Cool.
That's
yeah,
true.
it was fun. It was a good.
So this show, though, because PAX just happened, we're kind of catching up in the office still. We're watching what's going on. Obviously, from Red 5 News, we're moving into the next milestone, which will be a continuation of the previous milestone. So fixing a lot of things that we currently have broken in the game. We should have a hot fix today. You guys may have noticed last night we did some server-side improvements to things like crafting and inventory and things like that, which sped up a lot. I've seen people reporting a lot of better stuff. So we're gonna have a hot fix today, hopefully, knock on wood, that everything works well, which will just fix some things with the crafting UI, like where it closes randomly or it doesn't give you send errors and things like that. We're gonna hopefully get that out today. That is not like a big patch or anything. That's just a quick hot fix.
Yep.
We are working on a patch for next week, which will include some additional improvements and some stuff like that. And we want to try to get back on a 2-week or 3-week patching cycle so that you guys can get more content more frequently and we can get some of those bug fixes in. I expect some of the patches next week to fix some of the crazy stuff like creeping death, having a huge radius.
What? That
Which
was intended.
abuse the crap out of that right now. I was killing like 300 mosquitoes because I'd go spawn them all, get them next to me, and just be like, creeping death.
I thought that was by design, and I'm really good at it.
No, you're not really good.
No, you're terrible.
Well,
So we're going to fix creeping
Yeah,
death.
but-
We're going to increase the radius and double the damage. So that should fix creeping death for you guys. Make it a lot more fun. Oh my God. Woo. So that's coming in. Some other fixes, which we'll talk about next week when we actually get closer to the patches coming out. We did go to PAX. The whole community team went, along with some of the marketing folks and Scott and Scott and Mark. We decided to bring along with us our HD Pro cameras to try to record part of our trip out there and see if we could come together.
Try to record is a perfect.
Yeah.
well, James and I tried to record. I don't know about the rest. Well, Matt also tried to record some. You didn't do anything.
Tried to record.
Anyways, Tony yesterday took all that footage together and created a short little video
9 hours.
covering
calm down.
some of the stuff that we did. So we're going to show you guys that right now. Enjoy.
Yes, this is happening.
I'm so happy I could say that aloud in a public place and have it be in context. Oh, thank God.
Stop it.
I'm not stopping it. You're ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous. There's snow on the ground.
You're ridiculous.
It's cold.
Am I holding it right, by the way?
I mean, it's better.
It's fine, right? It's fine.
It's better than lackadaisically like holding it by your like hip, like you're hip shooting.
I was hip shooting. I can't hear what you're saying.
I have one scarf on. Plenty of people wear scarves. It's not a big deal.
You look like you're about to rob a bank, Bandito.
But your cards, right? We might have some extra spending cash. You know what I'm saying?
So we had the Smash and Bash last weekend. Do you know who won? You guys know who won?
By eating this hammer. Who won?
Save the Bronodons.
Save the Bronodon. Amazing. What are you filming right now? You filming the napkin?
Yeah.
God. Frank, why don't you pick what you're going to eat so we're not waiting for you?
We just sat down.
You're filming yourself looking at the menu?
I'm filming the menu.
Jesus. What are you filming now?
Would you calm down?
I think a toddler shot your food.
Well, that's a good angle.
Okay, Command C. Command V. Yes.
And we can copy and paste.
Are you filming?
You are not disadvantaged since you're standing.
I'm going to try a sneak attack on the...
Unless he says AC 18 or better, you tell him no.
I love this.
I
No.
No.
Who has a bomb?
I do.
Okay,
I have a sleep spell.
Okay, you're gonna go up. You're gonna explode that quarter off.
Sleep spell.
Make people go sleep. That's a shitty power, man. That's a shitty power. Let me tell you. That's what I'm gonna do to you.
D&D. Not for me.
I watched you. You had fun.
No.
Oh, yes.
Green Bay Packers. What's up, buddy?
Oh, you're going to hug some random dude. He's like, hug a random
He was not interested in hugging me at all.
That's what Packers fans are like.
And Packers fans don't like people. They don't like people. Like Tony doesn't like people.
I don't like you, Frank.
See?
Why would you hide a place in a known country?
It's not a known country. Have you been there?
Yes.
Does it exist?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume so.
people that live there?
I assume it exists. It's...
You been there? Yes. He's a lizard man.
All right, we are making our way back to the convention center, and that's Tony up there, trying in horrible vain to bundle himself.
It is so cold. Not cold. No,
Not cold.
It is the morning of PAX, and we are locked out of the room.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much.
Matt is not happy. He's very angry. Anger. He's gonna hit me. He's gonna hit me. No. Oh God. Oh, leave me alone. Oh, I was very afraid. Very afraid.
It's amazing what you can learn about people when you travel on the road with them for 5 straight days.
I wish I would have seen that video.
Tony-
I
Frank-
cannot wait to see that
Frank
video.
has not seen the video at all. We couldn't watch it from here, but Tony and I are chuckling about the various things that happened. My favorite part, though, is where Tony tries to randomly hug another Green Bay Packers fan.
Oh my God!
And the guy has nothing to do with it. He's like,
Who was
He like-
who was filming that one?
Tony was. Tony was like,
filming, I was
oh,
walking
hey,
around
hey,
like
bro, what's
I
up?
was so excited, and he just like freaking straight arms me and like, no, bro, I'm not talking to you today, and just I was very hurt. I seriously to this day, he is the only rude Packer fan I've ever met. I've never met a rude Packer fan,
He's just upset about Greg Jennings.
especially.
Haven't you met Justin Hansen?
Yeah, I know, right?
He's not rude.
Wait.
He's the
wow.
nicest
Like
guy.
every week you're just
I
gonna
just
sit there
went
and
there
like smack
bringing
that
on
guy.
Xenogenic.
Xenogenic is
Every
very
week.
nice. I'll have you know, when I started, I didn't even know how to
nemesis.
work my PC, and Xenogenic, a poor guy sat next to me, he had to help me through everything.
And
He's
the
very
funny thing
nice.
is you still don't know how to work your PC.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, that video,
I can't wait to see it.
you just don't understand the hours of footage that I went through of Frank like filming the ceiling and walking, shake. I was like, I had to take some motion sickness pills while
That's
editing
only-
this film.
That's only because someone had to film stuff.
That's
You
true.
were not filming anything.
I
So it's
know.
just like
Matt-
James and
Getting
I.
so hurt about
I
it.
know he does.
James
But
and I filmed the bulk of that stuff.
That's true because Matt and I were kind of lazy with the filming. I mean, I think I filmed one part,
After the beginning.
and that
I was all excited in the morning when we hired a limo when we were driving, which you didn't even put in there. Like,
It's-
yeah,
yeah.
Paul is in a limo because that's the only thing they said for us.
And we had a
There's
limo
like
on the
we're
way
like
back.
crammed in this limo with bags on our seats and stuff too.
Yeah, all the
And
Firefall live gear.
Maximus Painicus actually provides a very good point. Nah, it wasn't just Frank's handiwork because it was also a big part was some of the topics we spoke about on camera. Had to edit that down.
We did not have very many filters on
No,
when we were
no,
talking.
especially when there was alcohol involved. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's getting deleted.
I don't know
You
what you're talking
you
about.
did not put in the video at all though was the community meetup.
Okay, so here's the thing about the community meetup.
Yeah, what happened there?
So I'm like, here's the thing. It was like 3 hours of footage, right? That I recorded, pretty much. It was like 2.5, whatever.
You did time lapse, I thought.
Yeah, I did. It was
The
huge.
whole event was only 3 hours.
Exactly. It was a
You did
huge.
time lapse.
It was
It's
a
like-
huge chunk of film, right?
Yeah.
Huge.
So I get it on my computer, and my computer's slowing down. It's like I'm trying to edit, and things are just going.
Because you're doing this on a Mac, right?
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I'm just going to. It's just going to hell, and somehow I'm doing other stuff, and I drag it and I put it up to put it to start to edit it, and then my computer just shuts down. Just shuts down, and I freak out. I have to walk away. I'm like, this is like hour 4. I'm like, if all this footage is lost, or if I have to start over the editing process, I'm gonna have a meltdown. So I walked away. I came back, and that footage had been gone. It's still on my computer, but it was gone. And I was basically, instead of reloading it into the program, which would have taken another 3 hours, I had to get it done for today. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't. I'll maybe be able
We'll,
to show
we'll
it
edit
somewhere.
it later and,
Yeah.
and put it up on the forums or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's a very good event. So we had
It
the
was
community
cool.
get together at a place called Empire Lounge, which is like a kind of a ritzy little Asian
It
cuisine
was.
place.
It was really nice.
It was a really nice place. We were worried they were going to kick us out because we're all a bunch of nerds walking in. But they were actually really friendly and really
Yeah,
great. And
it
I'd
was
highly
cool.
recommend it. Food was great.
We even
drinks were
thought they
great.
would kick us out when we brought out the inflatable scan hammers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mustang League brought out Patrick. He brought the scan hammer things and the swords too.
Yeah.
And then we're smacking each other, and the lady was like, "Well, as long as I can watch, it's fine." I was like, "All right, cool, let's do this." Yeah, they
I
were.
want you
they
to
were
hurt
nice.
each other. That's basically what she said.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they were excited. So it was a good event, though. Had a lot to drink. Had to get people to drink more. I'm surprised. Our community, we had kind of a small bar tab for what we thought, but then we were definitely not on track
Yeah.
to use that money. Had to kick people in gear to drink more.
And
Yep.
it was funny, even
Disappointed,
the way we
disappointed.
gave away the last bit of swag. We had one little postcard signed by everyone, and the last thing I gave away is I asked the bartender who drank the most. I want to award them, and it was the guy slumped over on the bar. Literally, it was the guy
Who
slumped
also
over on
forgot
the
his
bar.
jacket, right? That's
Yeah, he
the same.
forgot his jacket, and then I had to pick it up for him and give it to him, and he was like freaking out because he's like, "My fiance gave me that jacket, man. Where are you? Come give it to me."
Wow.
I'm
Completely
on
throwing this
my
guy under the
way.
bus right now.
Oh, his friends will totally appreciate this. 8-Bit Tavern knows this guy. He's a great guy, but man, he was freaking out about that jacket. I was like, I'm on my way to you right now. Calm down. Yeah,
Jeez.
it was great.
So it was a
time.
great show, great event. We got to hang out with people. We had Tony play some D&D, which he denies that he liked, but he took the most boring footage of that D&D session because we played for like 2 hours,
Torquay enjoyed himself.
and he was having fun.
It was not fun.
No, you had fun.
I had fun making fun of it.
No.
I just can't. Look,
You were getting into it.
look.
I mean,
I played. What did we play that I really enjoyed?
The Bodger
The Bodger thing.
and Hearthstone.
And Hearthstone. that for me is huge because, as Matt puts it, I am a bro gamer and I like,
He likes
shoot 'em.
Madden and Halo.
I like Madden and Halo and Call of Duty, and those
On
are
console.
on console. Those are my go-tos.
Can I get a separate seat
So,
from
well,
like here
so
on
what
out?
I'm
This is
saying,
ridiculous.
for me to play a tabletop game and Hearthstone, like that's huge, and I had a great time. I loved it. I'm expanding my horizons.
Yeah, the Bodger
I'm
game we're
opening it
talking
up.
about is by
Privateer Press.
Privateer
Yes.
Press. It's a card game where you play goblins that are like
Wrestling.
fighting against each other.
And
Yeah.
the moves on them are hilarious.
Yeah, so it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's a fun little game. Check it out, Privateer Press. Those guys deserve it. We also picked up level 7
Level
for Privateer
7 was
Press.
fun.
That
We
was
played
like
it
a-
completely wrong.
Yeah, we played it wrong. We tried to play it the first night.
You don't
And
even know.
It's like
Yeah.
16-page rule manual, and it's still confusing as hell. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Wait, you enjoyed that?
I love that.
But you didn't like D&D?
No.
I think he needs objects to look at.
I do.
The
I need
D&D we played
objects.
was D&D Next, which is their new edition, and they did it totally miniature free and everything. So you had no map, no miniatures. It was all
Yeah.
pure pen and paper, going back to the old days of D&D.
That's the
I think
thing.
you would probably
I
do
need
better with
objects.
miniatures.
That's why I like level 7 because I got the little card and I had 2 guns and I was like, I got guns. I'm the strongest guy here. I'm beasting it. I
Okay,
love that.
Sorry, we're talking a little bit too much about other games. People want us to focus back on Firefall. We had a great show. All we did at the show was just the press conference at Firefall Live and then some press interviews. Some of those interviews are already up, so be sure to Google for any Firefall at PAX East videos. We posted some already.
We're retweeting them.
We're retweeting them, so follow those. You'll see a lot of different interviews from Scott and Mark about what's going on. Big news from our side is that we released a patch right before PAX. It came in very hot, and that kind of hurt us because it was pretty buggy, and it still has some issues.
Did they ever not come
The
in?
guys were starting to work the day it released all the way until when we got back. People didn't even leave the office. They were working so hard on getting things fixed. And so now things are actually looking pretty good. Up to last night, they started releasing more and more server hotfixes and more things on the server side. We have some client-side hotfixes we need to do, but things are looking much better now than they were. I know that there were some other issues last night, like AI servers and stuff that we're checking into this morning. But the patch did come in hot. We apologize for any issues you guys may have experienced. We're fixing those problems. We're getting hotfixes out there. It's a constant process, right? This is part of our process. We have Keith Thornhill on the show later, who's one of our senior web developers, to help explain kind of what were the issues, how do we fix them, what are we doing to fix them in the future, and kind of how our infrastructure works and why that really matters. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think that's for Red 5 news. That's pretty much it.
That's a lot. Yeah.
But what happened community side? What's going on?
So community side, we were going to have the Formula CY this weekend. Unfortunately, due to some issues with Necro, or not
Rain.
not Necro, Rain, right? Sorry, Lemon King. There were some issues with Rain, so it had to be punted until a later date. Good news is the signups are now open again, so you can go and sign up for the race. But we don't have a date yet. That's still TBD. Bronodon Brawl 3 signups are live. I believe there are Punk has some teams listed over on Bronodon.com. Yep. Full details on Bronodon.com/brawl. You can check all that out there. And then we also have Shopping List does his weekly Baneclaw giveaway stuff. One to a person who has a man, and one to someone who watches a stream. So you can check them out on Twitch TV/Shopping List with an O, a 0 instead of the O. And I think I'm supposed to be helping him give away something tomorrow, but
you think you're supposed to?
I think I haven't spoken to him in a bit, so
like, whatever.
I'm gonna hit him up. I mean, I'll probably be on. If not, I'll just sit there and harass him and be a part of his stream anyway. Cool. So, not to impose, but that's pretty much what's going on. I mean, now that we have the split, you could expect Drogoth's Mustang League to
I'm interested to
pop
see
in.
when that starts. There's also another big event. We're sponsoring it.
Running on Brawl 3?
Yeah.
You talked
Pretty
about
sure I
that.
mentioned that.
Oh my God, I did. It's another one of those.
Matt
Like,
is spacing out again.
I'm reading chat like while you're talking. I'm looking at them talking about
You talking
WildStar.
about Bronodon.com, Bronodon.com/brawl, so we're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah, but anyways,
I'm sorry, Punk.
did you talk about how many teams we already had signed up for it?
I said we have a bunch of teams. I didn't know how many
I
we
think
have.
we have about
specifically.
11. So
That's good.
Yeah, I thought it was
if you
about
want to
10, but-
sign up quickly because those spots, we only have 16 spots and 2 spares for in case anybody drops out.
And remember,
So
those prices are good.
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
they're
you're
really
talking
good.
about
hundreds of dollars.
flying
And
out to Red
yeah,
5 Studios.
Number
and
one
it's like-
winners,
Yeah.
thousands, maybe?
Of prize money?
Yeah, prize money.
over
To
it's,
fly
it's
out,
probably
Yeah.
over
hotel.
$5,000 worth of prizes. Well, I mean, not including the swag and everything else you're talking about. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
definitely, participate in that. We'll be doing balance changes and things. I know some people are freaking out, like, oh my God, creeping death. And
Yeah.
we're doing balance changes
Yeah.
before the event. Not to say that we're going to knee-jerk react and nerf everything. We're going to have very specific changes that we want to put in.
Mm-hmm.
And the Brawl and Brawl may be testing out certain things about how do people actually use this in a competition. So expect some things there. But we'll fix the bug type issues.
Yeah,
Anything
absolutely.
that we found so far. And we've got tons of feedback. Punk and a bunch of the PvPers have been giving us feedback. We've been going through those and looking at it, kind of removing the opinion stuff and focusing on the issues that we're like, well, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Because opinions are going to vary for a while, and we really want to let those play out for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So community, that's great. Brawl on Brawl, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned that because
Absolutely.
since we're
mentioned it.
sponsoring, I really want to make sure we're pimping the hell out of everything. Because I want to get some really good teams on there. We've already got Nerds and Spurgs, Hubris, Epsilon, a bunch of teams I haven't heard of that kind of came out of the woodwork.
That's cool. I like that.
Hoping to see
believe the
complexity
extras are
on
on
there.
there,
I
too.
know Jake is kind of upset at us. Please call me, Jake. I give you my number. But please, Jake, call me.
Oh my God. Someone's lonely.
I am lonely, actually. Anybody feel free to call me.
Oh, God.
I just need people to talk to me.
This is weird. I talk to you all the time, and you always tell me to shut up.
Well, that's because I'm tired of talking to you. I want to talk to cool people.
It's rude.
Oh, another thing. Melding Cast is happening Sunday.
That's right. Who's going to be on Melding Cast?
And
Who's the
apparently
guest?
I'm going to be on Melding Cast.
That's right. I volunteered you to be the guest.
Yes. I have been volunteered to be the guest on Melding Cast, so I will be on Melding Cast.
Pretty much, Punk was like, "Can we get you or Phobos on for Melding Cast, the next Melding Cast?" I'm like, "Yes, Phobos will be on the next Melding Cast."
WFX is willing to call me and talk about League of Legends or World of Warcraft. 2 games I do not play. Awesome.
I play both.
Yeah, too much. So, no, I'm not going to
Not
talk about
really.
League of Legends or World of Warcraft. League of Legends, I suck at, and people yell at me, so I stopped playing it. World of Warcraft, played it for too many years, and I stopped. But anyways, that's community news. That's Red 5 news. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Keith Thornhill on the set. So enjoy.
This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is perhaps... The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us.
Our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor, a struggle to preserve our republic and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity.
But if we fail, then the whole world, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age.
You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance.
They came out of the storm, filling our skies, burning our cities. We fought back, hit them hard. Still, there are so many. Some say we can't win, that we've lost too much, that the war is already over. But if this is mankind's last stand, if we're going down, we're not going down without a fight.
Hey, welcome back. Hey.
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 That's a weird look on your face too. You're like, ah!
Welcome back to Firefall Live. We are joined by Keith Thornhill, aka Aphex. He's one of our senior web developers. You're like looking at the screen as if they can see you.
I don't know where to look.
There.
Hi.
There you go. So Keith's been with us for a long time. He's basically our first back-end web developer.
That's right.
Now we have more, thank God.
Thank God.
But yeah, you're kind of our first person we hired back in. So first, explain the difference between back-end web developer, front-end web developer, and kind of what you do at the company.
Okay, sure. So basically, when people think normally about web development, they think about web pages, and that's definitely true. Obviously, we have the forums, we have different web applications, but also when you think about back-end, there's kind of these systems that are more dealing with database access, because obviously all of your character data, your inventory, your match history, all that kind of stuff goes in the databases, and so we actually build that using a web architecture. And so if you think about the game server, game server is what you're connected to. It's got all the AI in it. But we actually have separate entire applications that the game servers talk to that deal with pretty much loading your data, saving your data, and then exposing things to the web. And so that's usually what I work on. Kind of the back end is really, if you think about APIs and things like that, that's a big part of my job.
You just like to do it from the rear.
Yeah, it's the back-end jokes never get old.
Come on.
Didn't take that long to get there.
No.
Bam.
Had to
It's all
go for
good.
that one for the back-end joke. And his name's not Apex, it's Aphex, as in like Aphex Twin was actually your original name, and you shortened it.
That's right. Back in Tribes days.
Yeah. So let's go there then. So
Oh, yeah.
How did you get started? Well, one, how did you get started in web development, and how would someone get into that if they wanted to? And then how did you get into Red 5?
Well, web development, it's a kind of a unique thing, right? Because it's really easy to get into it. That's kind of probably why I did, is that I was in like 6th grade or something, and I found out what HTML was, and I started learning all about that, and taught myself how to program.
HTML didn't exist when I was
and it was cool about it is that you can just buy a domain for like $5 and you can do whatever you want, right? It's really easy to get into, and so it's kind of naturally over my career. I started working at I did like different business software, really boring stuff, right? And but obviously I've been a video game player for like ever. I remember Moon Patrol on my Atari, right? And so I actually moved out to California, and just kind of naturally my job went more and more into kind of scalable development, which is more about building larger applications rather than just websites. And so and I had a situation where I needed to move down to Southern California, and I was chatting with you because I mean people might not know this, but us three, we kind of go way back.
Way back.
What was that? 13 years now we've known each other?
Yeah.
Oh God, has it been that long?
It really has.
Jesus.
Tribes 1. So we used to be on the same competitive Tribes 1 and Tribes 2 team.
Competitive. Competitive.
Hey, we were like 12th on the ladder. We were.
That was Tribes 2.
I was Tribes 2.
That was Tribes 2.
There were less teams on Tribes 2.
We actually hit top 10 in Tribes 2.
We did? I forget.
On the 7-man.
Oh, yeah. So, so when I was moving down there, we were chatting. I was like, "Hey, we have this opportunity." So I just did the normal thing. I sent in a resume, did an interview, and I started like about 2.5 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been together for a long time. Frank has been on our team. God, I can't believe it's been that long since. Yeah, like I was 16.
We're all very old.
Yes. So that's a long time to play the games together.
So 99, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Anyways, so now you're at Red 5, and so you are a member of a team that does back-end web development. So you're kind of responsible for not only what's the separation between back-end web development and the technical operations team, and how do they differ?
Sure. Well, I mean, as part of the development team, I'm a coder, right? I spend hopefully if I'm having a good day, I spend most of my day coding and not fixing issues, right?
Would you call it coding?
Sometimes people say I copy paste a lot. I'm really good at that. But I would say the big difference is that development is all about building the systems, right? I'm working on gameplay systems. Like this last milestone, I was on the progression team. I worked really closely with Cameron on like the upgrade process and how that works. But on the operations side is another part of my job where that's more about, are the servers up? Are people having a good experience? So I would say a good part of my day is also spent, like for example, looking at different charts. Because we have all this kind of monitoring and charts that tell us like what is the game doing right now, right? So we can see how long it takes to unload a workbench in the printer, right? We can see how long it takes to log into the game, and if those times all of a sudden take a bad shift, then I dive in, I figure out what's going wrong, right? So that's more on the operations side. Obviously, I'm supported by an amazing operations team that we have. I'm kind of half and half, really, maybe like 75-25. But when I need to, I jump in on the servers and I try to make things faster.
Now they're talking in trad speak.
Oh.
VGX.
VGX.
We can have entire conversations, a 3-letter acronym.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about our system that I think is awesome that people don't even necessarily notice is that we do live pushes.
Oh, yeah.
So explain, like, what is a live push and why is that cool? What does it allow us to do?
Sure. So like earlier I talked about how there's the game server and then there's kind of the web backend behind it. With the game server, obviously you guys are connected to that. So if we turn off a server, you get booted and that's not a good experience. And so we really limit our game patches to be, you know, nice sizable content chunks and bug fixes, things like that. But on the website, since we actually have the technology to do pushes whenever we want, if you think about, I mean, how many patches of the game we've had, I don't know, like in the last year, 10 or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
We've probably, well, I was looking at the database earlier, we've done like 2,000 backend pushes, right? And so and sometimes that push is actually just like one line of code because it's a bug fix somewhere. Right. Actually, so maybe yesterday we found a bug that was when you were loading your garage. It was taking too long. Hopefully you guys noticed that loading your garage feels a little snappier now. That bug fix went live whenever we committed the change. We didn't have to do this big release and you didn't have to patch our client, and so it allows us to just do a check-in. We run a series of tests that make sure everything is still working correctly. We have hundreds of these automated tests that run, and then we just push a button that says, give it to the users, and then does kind of a rolling release out to the backend servers. And if we do our job right, nobody notices except for it being faster or a bug being fixed or something like that.
Yeah. Except for those times when you're testing your code in production.
Well, that's only like once a week.
Once a week.
So that's really great because it does allow us to do, 2,000 patches just in the last year is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it helps us really be really reactive, especially when we have issues that are critical, like critical performance issues that we can address right then, and we don't have to prep a change and then wait for 2 days to get it out there. It's like, if there's something that we can change really quick, even if it's just to make something temporarily faster due to, like, maybe let's say there's a database that's under load and we need to replace it. If we can divert traffic temporarily with a push and then do another push to divert it back, it's really easy for us to do that. And hopefully the actual game experience, you never lose connection, you never stop playing. And a lot of times you don't even notice because if you're out in the field, doing thumping and you don't even go back to the base and you're not using the the terminals, you might not even know that we did that. Right. So it's if we're doing our job right, that's how it works. Yeah.
When you're doing your job
when you're
right.
doing it's again.
So all the SYN errors and things like that are typically issues with the back-end web services or front end of the not connecting.
Yeah, yes. I can take the blame for SYN errors. That's no problem. If you
there's the bus and there's Keith.
I can be the new guy under the bus. It's cool. No, for sure. Basically, anytime that you're doing anything that's related to your character's data, we've kind of in the lore of the game, we've put that as part of the SYN. And so you think about it as like tapping into not only your data but the other players in the game's data, and kind of modeling after like the future internet, right? And so, generally when you're dealing with SYN in the game, that's going into the back end on the web.
And that's the thing is there's a difference between SYN, which is a gameplay element.
Yeah.
Right. Tagging players, SYN towers, things like that, which is completely separate, not tied to the web at all.
Right.
But we wanted to theme errors in the game, so you didn't get like a 404 error or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a 500 error. You would get SYN error as if the game is broken.
Yeah, it's like, especially when you think about the crafting right now, right? The idea is that you're pretty much like putting in an order to oil spills, like, hey, I need you to make this for me, like that communication channel where lore, it's in the lore of the game. That's still part of SYN, right? Even though it's not being used for active combat.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about issues, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is we released the patch, and immediately afterwards, everybody had these establishing connection issues.
Yeah, establishing connection.
Which thankfully have been fixed as of now. I haven't seen very many of them. Yesterday, we kind of had our major fix last night, or the night before last. And then yesterday, I didn't see any real reports for establishing connection issues.
Yeah.
But that started on basically Friday all the way through Wednesday.
Yeah.
What was the issue? What did we do to fix it?
Well, there's two big issues. The one that we discovered Saturday, I think Saturday was like the real bad day, at least I spent all day Saturday working trying to fix that issue, so that's when I was really aware of it for the, in terms of the experience there. And the first issue we found was that, kind of to back up a little bit, so we said that the kind of the web backend is separate from the game server. And so But when the game server needs to communicate with the backend, it kind of does so in a queue or a list. Think about it, the first one in, they get to go first and you wait in line, right? And so what we found is that there was actually a bug in the game server that this queue would just stop processing, right? Or maybe half of it would stop processing, things like that. And so luckily, Dave McDell, Gapo, he was on the show a few weeks ago. He was
Giant dude.
Yeah, the big dude, right? He jumped in on Saturday, which is great, and he really helped find out that bug did exist and get a hotfix in for that and get that hotfix prepped. But when we kept seeing it on Saturday, what we looked into, and that was actually more general performance issues, right? And that's pretty much what I've been focused on all week is just like again spending all day looking at charts, going what's the slowest thing in the game right now and speeding it up. Because if, for example, every time you earn XP, right, that's got to end up in a database somewhere, right? Every time you pick up some crystite, and so what we're seeing is that even if that operation gets 1 millisecond slower, well then everybody's just 1 millisecond slower, right. And so then that kind of cascades. And so what we're seeing up until kind of Wednesday is that just general backend slowness was causing just kind of these kind of backups in the queues. And so if you notice the establishing connection, if you waited long enough, you'd get in. And what the reason was is because you were just waiting your turn, basically. And so on yesterday was really a big day in terms of performance. We released like 6 different patches that addressed a variety of issues, like garage load time, garage save time, the molecular printer loading and unloading times. I think those are the big ones. And so the performance increases that we saw there kind of had a cascading effect of speeding everything else up. And so now what we've seen is that the sort of wait time of when the game server wants to do something is basically 0 now, which is great. And so that's the big thing that was causing that establishing connection.
It's amazing trying to shave off just like that 1 millisecond, because you're right.
Well, it was more than 1 millisecond, let's be fair.
Well, in this case, but it is, we've seen other times in the past where we had these performance issues, and just by shaving the 1 to 2 milliseconds off of a query builds up over time to prevent seconds of loading time on your screen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's like tapping your brakes on the freeway. That one little tap of the brake will then just transfers
yeah,
back.
that's the interesting.
2 miles back on the road, now you've got people dead stopped.
Yeah, the interesting part about my job is I very rarely deal with an individual request. If you think about kind of like loading a web page is one request, I have to think of things like what happens if there's 10,000 of these happening at the same time, and so dealing with both kind of how fast it is, but also how many we can do at once. And so we've been trying to address both of those issues this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those issues are fixed. Kind of what are the big next things that we want to knock out?
Like from performance specifically?
Performance or just major infrastructure.
I think the biggest thing we're looking to do is isolate failures, which is like if we have the backend is not just one big app. We actually have like 15. I think maybe even 20 applications that are all very specifically focused. And what we want to make sure of is that if any one of them is having an issue, that issue kind of does not cascade, right? Because if a performance benefit cascades, that's great. But if a degradation cascades, that's a problem, right? And so we want to be able to isolate that, but not just within that system, but also regionally, right? As you guys are aware, we have European servers, we have American servers, and that's going to grow and grow as we grow the game. And so we want to make sure that if there's some problem in Europe, the US players should not notice. And if they do, then that means we're doing our job wrong, and we need to be able, and that's work we have scheduled right now, and it's kind of been in the pipeline for a while of identifying how we can make sure that every system is independent when it comes to regions, and that's a big part of what's kind of in the future pipeline for the next milestone or two.
Sorry about that. Great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about to the community?
I'm just here to give the handshakes, right?
Little jazz hands for everybody.
That's right.
Meme it up.
As long as you only thrown me under the bus once, so I think it's a success. I'm happy.
For me, that's a huge success because I typically do that every 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty much everybody in the office does that.
It's a blame Keith kind of
it
mentality.
Actually, we have like a chalkboard in the front lobby of the building, and somebody actually just wrote like blame Keith on it, and it's really it applies to pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what happens when you program in these bugs that then you come and save.
That's what they say. They say I put bugs in on purpose, and I slow things down on purpose just so when I can it's like it's a coincidence. It just all sped up yesterday, and then today I'm on the show.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Something's fishy there, right?
A little too perfect that you always are there to save the day.
Yeah, I know.
And you know exactly where the problem is.
You're giving away my secrets.
I'm sorry, it's a little questionable, but thank you very much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll take some questions from you guys. We're not going to do the voice over IP because our skeleton crew and everything. We didn't have all the pieces here to do that, but we'll take questions from the chat channel, so have those ready to go. But we'll be right back after this break. Thanks.
Welcome to the third ever Ronadon Brawl, brought to you by Ronadon.com and sponsored by Red 5 Studios. This monster 2-weekend event is back for the third round of Rontastic rock-slinging PvP action. Sign-ups begin March 22nd. Players will be seeded into double elimination brackets where 16 teams will compete in 5v5 team deathmatch tournaments. The winning team will be flown to Red 5 Studios, sunny Orange County. Third and fourth place winners take away $125 in red beans. Second place winners take away $250 in red beans. And first place will take away $500 in red beans. So many beans you have gas for weeks. All finalists will also receive a Red 5 Super Swag Pack, featuring your very own Ronadon plushie. So soft and deadly. And yes, kid seats start at just 10 Bristol. April 6th and 13th. Let the battles begin.
Welcome back. Tony's now back on the set, as always, so that he can have his sweat rag ready to go.
Yes.
But as I said right before we went on break, we don't have our voice over IP system working today, but we're going to take questions from the channel. So you guys can go ahead and ask any questions there. We'll try to keep up with it. I'm watching it here as we go. One of the questions I saw a little bit right before we went on break was, why is Harvester not in the list anymore? And so you may notice that there's 2 maps missing. There's Harvester and Moisture Farm aren't on the list. And the reason for that is because we changed our encounter system and how everything worked. So we went from this old school system to a Lua-based scripting system, which is not only a lot more powerful and a lot faster to iterate on, but it also allows us to do much more powerful servers and threading and all kinds of great stuff to increase performance. Unfortunately, though, Harvester and Moisture Farm has some complexities with them that weren't easy to convert over while also working on other things for the milestone. So they got put on the back burner while we can fix those things. Harvester also needed a little bit of love on the gameplay side because of the changes to the game overall. That fighting inside those closed spaces and other things kind of needs a little bit of work. So that's being worked on. Those will come back sooner or later, and things like that.
So another thing people noticed was in TDM you don't have the teleporters in Sunken Harbor anymore. And I was talking to Justin yesterday, and he said that he was actually working on getting those back in, because those weren't, he had to port those over into Lua too. So he was actually trying to see if he can get that back in even yesterday. So
yeah,
those are coming. That's all coming back too.
Creeping death fixes. So when are the creeping death fixes coming, and what is the radius now? What should it be? The radius now is like 75 meters. It's way too big. It's not. I think it's supposed to be like 10 to 15 somewhere.
Yeah,
in
I think
that
it's
range.
about 10.
That's 7 times more than it's supposed to be.
That's good math.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this face as long as possible, just so that people know like that was a dumb thing.
I know.
Anyways, the fix though should be coming next week is the goal. So we're getting some of those fixes in, along with another list of changes that we're gonna get going on. So a couple other questions. Why is there a cooldown timer on thumpers now? If you call them up too early, is that a bug? No, that is by design. That we want people to have cooldowns on thumper. Because what people were doing was running around and spawning like 100 thumpers, which then crashed the AI servers and caused other problems. So we don't want people to do that. So there is a cooldown on thumpers, and that is by design. In the future, you may even see different things happening with that. We've talked about the potential that thumpers go back and have to get repaired before you can call them back down because they have damage associated with them. But you also increase the customization of the thumpers, having different drill bits and adding turrets to them, making them beefier. All different kinds of things that thumpers. We really want thumpers to be a customizable thing, but there should be a limit on how many you have and how many you can call down and other things as well to make sure that you're not just abusing the system.
I need a green and yellow thumper.
Is the current sifted earth refining result a bug or there to prevent people from earth thumping in idle spots? Sifted earth is crap. Period.
Yes.
It's always meant to be crap.
It's poop.
You should not be dirt farming. The idea is not that, hey, I go out there, I farm up a bunch of dirt, and now I'm awesome. No. Get real resources. The idea that the fact that you don't get the bonus XP for doing it, the fact that we decrease we have an increase of XP requirements, but you don't get a bunch more XP for killing creatures, that's by design. So just going out there and farming creatures while harvesting dirt, That should not be a viable path to progressing your character. So Sifted Earth is crap. Don't harvest Sifted Earth. If you're harvesting Sifted Earth, you're doing something wrong.
Dang.
So,
Phobos
Damn.
taking a stand. You're putting your foot down and everything. I like it.
Infinitely spawning Bronodons with this on a shard this morning. I don't know. I sent an email out to the team, so hopefully they'll figure out what's going on with that. That's pretty crazy. Army cap. What's going to happen? What are you planning for implementing armies next? So Army cap is set low right now because we want you to expand that through the Army tech tree, which is still something being worked on and being discussed. But we'll always have a limit on the size of the armies. We don't want armies to grow to the point that it's just a Zerg army and you have people like Goon Squad or large guilds coming in and just dominating because they just have the manpower. We want real gameplay elements associated with armies, and so we want to limit the size of those armies so that those gameplay elements can be real and rewarding and fun, regardless if you have 3,000 people or only 25 people. And so we have to keep armies limited. What the size is maximum, we don't know yet, but it'll probably be limited in a way that you'll want to create multiple armies for your big social guilds and then do alliances across them. So,
Question I saw in there was someone was asking when we're gonna be changing the garage UI, and as far as I know, I don't think we have plans to change the garage UI.
Garage UI, no. Crafting UI, yeah.
Crafting UI, yes.
I mean, Garage UI will get constant updates. Like it has some aliasing issues and it'll get cleaned up, but it's not going to, and some new features that are missing from it.
Yeah.
And then I think they wanted to make some changes associated with like viewing the items and comparing items, and because all that's a little janky right now.
Yeah.
But overall, the style and everything is going to remain the same. Tony, pick a question.
Well, I just saw one about we haven't answered about being able to swim. I'm pretty sure we've hit that
I'm pretty sure we hit swimming over and over and over and over and over again.
We lost the waterproofing guy in the Arc Light crash. Sorry. The technology is lost forever.
There was one man who had one job.
And he didn't hit record.
Technology is lost forever.
Yeah, we are incapable of waterproofing ourselves. No, water is there as a natural barrier. It's meant to be a place that you cannot go, and so it kills you now. So that's the way it is. New frames coming soon.
Oh man, everyone just drank.
That is there. I mean, we have ideas for new frames. You guys have seen some of them already in the tier 3 section. Of what we have names and different ideas for them. But right now we're going to focus on the current frames and continue fixing those up, bringing back some of the abilities that we weren't able to get in previously, making sure that all the abilities currently feel unique and feel refreshing and are useful, and then we'll focus on a new frame.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we lost some abilities there, well, quote unquote lost in the patch. I mean, like stuff like burn jets, rocket jump, turret mode. And those are still going to be a part of the game. It's just we weren't able to convert them in, especially with all these new abilities for the kits for all the 15 frames that we put in. So those are still coming back, and they're probably going to be PvE only abilities, so that I could take rocket jump and put it on any of my assault frames. I think that's how that works. I'm sure Justin will jump through one of these cameras and punch me in the face, correct me if I'm wrong. So,
how dare you?
That's pretty much, they're coming back. It's just a matter of, we just didn't have time to grab them.
There was another question about being able to customize your PvP frames. Isn't that the point, that the PvP frames are kind of in
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be some customization there, and we talk about it. Like
choose your
secondary
abilities?
weapons.
Okay.
We want to allow you to switch up your secondary weapon if you want to have a different secondary weapon. That's fine. But not craft it, just pick from the selection of whatever selector. Then the placement of the abilities is a big concern right now. So you might have Afterburner on 2, but you really want it on 1, and right now there's no way to switch that up.
Oh, okay.
So that needs to be added back into the game. We just need a UI for that.
Yep.
But other than that, there's not much customization.
But no, there's not going to be a lot of customization.
That's kind of the point.
From your arena-based PvP frames.
Yeah. So
when it comes to open world PvP and potentially an unregulated PvP, all the customization and crafting and stuff comes back into play.
Gotcha.
But speaking of that, the customization and crafting, and progression. Some people mentioned, like, are there going to be other ways to do progression besides the XP and resource thing? And no, not really. But you guys have to understand, a lot of that stuff will become a lot simpler when we have player trading in. Because all of a sudden now, to get the specific resource you need or anything else, you can buy from another player who spent more time on it. So that 20 hours to collect X resource just became 10 seconds because all you did was look it up on the auction house and buy it. So keep in mind that we have things set very high right now because we want to add a lot of time to things. Because it's always better to decrease that time as we find that it's too long than to have to increase it later and then people get pissed off. As we're seeing right now, people are upset because we've increased it from previous. But if we had to do that again, because we only increased it halfway, and then we have to increase it again, now how many people are going to be upset? So we went to the extreme so that we can check it out, get data, see how long it actually takes, and then start trimming it back to see what we really want. So until we have enough data and we have enough players, unfortunately our current beta testers have so much XP that it's really hard for us to get that good data for that. Some of you guys were sitting on 10 million XP for Battle Frame. Well, all of a sudden XP is now useless to you, right? So we don't know how long it really takes to unlock that Battle Frame. Resource collection is obviously a new thing, so we can judge that. But things will change over time. What else we got? Any good questions? I'm not reading.
I can't see. I don't see anything popping up.
I saw some complaints about air sprinting earlier, and there's been some complaints on the forums about air sprinting. I don't know if we're looking into different key bindings for that. That's a xenogenic question. But I can assume that if enough, people don't like it, there's...
Pretty sure I heard some talk on the fourth floor about it.
Have you played in Design Build? Can I talk about how it is in Design Build currently?
Sure.
So currently it is you have to hold down Shift and Spacebar at the same time in order to do it. So if you just hold down Shift, you don't start careening forward, wasting all your energy. So if you hold down Shift and Space, that's kind of how that's working now. I don't know. They're probably still playing around with it, so I can't promise that that's how it's going to be when we patch. But that's what we're playing around with, seeing if we like.
Okay.
So yes.
No.
Possibly.
No
Will XP be useful for other things in the future because now it's unnecessary after maxing out the garage? Are you talking about individual XP for a battle frame? Then yeah, it is kind of useless right now once you've maxed out your battle frame to then continue to get XP for that. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that XP the same that we're going to use for the skill tree? Or the
crafting tree?
Crafting tree?
It might be. I'm not sure exactly how that crafting tree is going to work yet.
So one of the things we didn't implement this patch was the crafting recipe tree. You have all recipes unlocked from the start.
Well, all the ones we put in.
All the ones we put in, which isn't even all the recipes. But that will go back to, well, not go back to, but that will be changed to a tree that you'll have to unlock technology for. So you'll maximize out to say, I want to be able to craft plasma weapons. And then I want to be able to craft stage 2 plasma weapons, stage 3, stage 4 plasma weapons. And you'll have to spend something in order to get there. I think it's XP.
I think so too.
And so that's where the extra XP comes into play. And then it becomes exponentially harder to unlock more and more of those. So you really kind of either have to focus or you spend a lot of time to get everything. So that's coming. And that's, again, when we see player trading come into play, those really work hand in hand because now Tony's going to specialize in, servos, and I'm going to specialize in plasma weapons, and together we can actually, have
Can I specialize in plasma weapons?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay. I want to set the record straight in this
really
hypothetical.
don't think you have that kind of aptitude for plasma weapons.
That's rude, but probably true.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I did have to apologize.
The question of when will trading make it in, we don't know. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to make it in for this milestone because it's a big system. There were too many things we had to punt from the previous milestone into this milestone that we still need to fix and polish and do other things. So rather than take on a whole new system and then implement that part way, we're going to try to fix up some of the systems we currently have and continue working on those. But soon, we want trading in as quickly as possible because it's a huge part of our economy. It's a huge part of the gameplay overall. So it also allows players that don't want to craft at all some way to get these really great pieces of equipment and other things.
That would be me.
Craftable LGVs, it's coming, but we don't want to make craftable LGVs just be like collect X resources, get LGV. That's dumb and doesn't feel good and it's not interesting. We really want the LGV crafting because it's such a big game changer and something that's really fun and useful, and that everybody's going to want to be an epic crafting mission type thing that you know have a lot of pieces to get, maybe unique items. There's maybe some storyline associated with it. There's some cool stuff happening. That's what we want to see. Invisible walls from PvP. You want to take that one?
I think we removed them because a lot of people were just a lot of people were feeling like when you're like flying into something and it's just like you just start hitting this invisible wall.
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel good. Like you don't know where that wall hits. So we tried.
Said now you die.
Yeah, we tried taking those walls down. So now you don't just hit in an imaginary space, and now you get the warning like that annoys the hell out of everyone, and then you take damage that you don't even realize where it's coming from. So
Return to the battle.
may or may not have been the. It may or may not have been the most. It may or may not have been the more elegant solution. It probably still remains to be seen. We could probably do other things along those lines.
I think it's funny because I'm freaking out, and you know how I play. I run around all crazy, and then it's like, I'm dying, and
Yeah.
it's like because I'm outside.
So it's just something we're trying out, I guess.
Yeah, it needs to be made a little bit better. Like, excuse me. We need to have a little bit longer of a delay between the warning, so it should be more like a and you kind of know that like this is annoying before you start taking damage. Because right now it's the same as the melding that you reach a certain point and it just kills you. Yeah. So you might get like healing waved out there and bumped out, and then you die because you got bumped too far. Well, that's kind of dumb. So it'll need some tweaking, but I think overall the idea of a flexible wall, something that you can go into and come back from, is better than a hard invisible wall.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. But I think that's going to do it for questions, because now we need to go on to our favorite segment, well, at least Tony's favorite segment, which is...
Do you even art, bro?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Wow.
Went to the wrong person.
This is my segment, damn it. Brian, why don't you turn this over to Matt? Okay, no, I'm just kidding. No,
Brian likes you.
I know, Brian.
You should not be mean to him.
I'm not mean to him. I'm just giving him a warning that if he does it again, I'm going to hit him.
He's very supportive of us. Brian's been fantastic.
I get it, but he will be hit.
You know he's part of the Stormtrooper 501st?
That is great. Okay, so for Do You Even Art, Bro, we have got some fantastic submissions again this week. I was very sad that we weren't able to do it in PAX, but we have it here now. And again, the winner of today goes on to the winner of the month. And this is our first entry. This is called...
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow. It's called Holy Crap now. I'm renaming it.
Matt has renamed it from Chosen Chick to Holy Crap.
Creepy doll.
This is Sibocram. And this is his Holy Crap image. I love the lens flare. Needless to say, I like everything else about it. It looks good. Definitely my type.
Makes me want to become a Chosen.
It looks... Yeah, well... Oh, boy.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. So, Frank, your thoughts?
I really like it. It's really, really well done.
It's very... Yeah.
Why are we all like 13 years old right now? Like,
oh,
it's a girl. Oh.
I'm not even going to start
It's really awesome looking.
Yeah,
like
no,
the artwork is really amazing. I think our concept artist back at the state would be like, that's not Chosen.
Yeah.
That's a hot chick in Chosen armor.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool hot chick in Chosen armor.
There you go.
Yeah.
So our next piece is I Mustache. This is from Freak Bite.
I Mustache Love Trail?
I like the Poison Trail, kind of like giving it the frame of the picture. I like the colors.
I like the colors.
I like the colors.
I like colors.
I like colors.
It does look. I think it looks cool. I like.
I think the Baneclaw hat's
anime style artwork.
Yeah, I think the Baneclaw hat's really well done.
I like colors. That's a valid opinion.
Do you need like reassurance that you're okay?
I
like,
do.
You are
I
a
do.
human being.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That was close.
No,
Frank, what do you think?
It actually reminds me of the. You remember the medic or the poison trail?
Yeah.
It kind of the art style kind of reminds me of that guy's, which is really cool. It's obviously not exactly the same, but it's still really reminds me of it, and I like it.
What's next?
Next, we have actually a YouTube video.
Oh.
This is done by the Blocksmiths, and this is a Firefall edition of I Believe I Can Fly. Everyone's favorite song from the 90s.
Sing it.
I believe. No, it's in the video, I think.
You know that if you could hear the video right now, you'd be singing it, wouldn't you?
Oh, if I could hear it, I would totally be singing it. Think about it every night and day.
Oh, God.
Spread my wings and glide away. You know?
Oh, that guy thinks he's all alone on the server.
Why am I all alone?
Whoa.
He's been in queue for 30 minutes.
Wow.
That's bad.
That is bad.
I like how we take that away from this.
They want you to
this
keep
first
singing,
entry.
Tony.
Oh. I'll spread my wings and glide away. Ooh, I believe I can soar. You see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly.
It's too bad we didn't have that on
All right.
video.
Frank is so upset.
You already got me like halfway sick, so I don't need you to like breathing on me all
You don't need
again.
the full way sick.
That's what happens when you guys make out on the plane. Right
So
now.
we're good. I think we kind of get it. We'll be able to watch the full thing, excluding my singing, because no one needs that. And
Is that it?
yes, those are our three. So we have to choose from the YouTube video. I Believe I Can Fly. The Poison Trail. I Mustache. Poison Trail. And the Chosen Chick. I am gonna go with the Chosen Chick.
We're gonna get so much crap for it, but
Oh, we're gonna get so much crap, but I just wanted to say
Why?
it first. Why? Because we always do. They only pick the hot girl ones.
yeah.
They just like
Of
the
course
hot
I
girl
picked it
ones.
because it's a chick wearing assault
Hey,
armor.
if it was a
Can we
guy
bring
with
that
like
one
a
up
six
again?
pack,
Can we bring that one up again? The Chosen Chick.
bring it up.
Is it up? That's not it. There,
There
we
we
go.
go.
So why not? I mean, this
an
just looks
amazing piece of
amazing.
artwork.
I know. Regardless,
like,
we're
really?
I'm
you
gonna
know,
take the dissing. I'm gonna take the
you're gonna
hatred.
take it? Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna say the Chosen Chick.
I'm gonna agree with you guys because I mean, really,
Here we
like
go.
you could say it, but it's
Yeah.
like
You can't deny.
it's
we-
really well done.
yeah, it's well done.
Extremely well done.
And to be fair, if people start busting out chosen guys that are like "Ugh," and they're like got the shirt off with the chosen armor, and if it's good artwork, I'll pick that.
So I saw.
You guys heard it here first. Tony would like some naked Chosen dude artwork.
Jesus.
I saw DKang working on some chosen some.
not what I
Make sure you
meant.
have shirtless Chosen art. I would like to see as many shirtless Chosen pieces of artwork so that I can print them out and put them all over Tony's desk. So make sure you get the hottest Chosen dudes you can, and Tony's desk will be covered in all of them. Send them to me at Phobos at red5studios.com. I will make sure that this happens.
Oh God. I just thought I meant I was open. We were open. God, never mind. You guys always do this. I'm sweating now.
Okay, so that's Do You Even Art, bro. I think Chosen artwork
Chosen
wins.
wins. So Chosen Chick goes on to the final round for this month. And today on the forums, I'll be posting for your vote because next week we'll be announcing the winner for March, and they will get the signed poster. If you guys have art, please submit it to community@red5studios.com. Submit it with your art piece name, and the subject line fan art submission. That's very important so I can find it. And as well as your address. I need your address so I can ship you the poster if you win. So there you go.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for submitting artwork. I know a lot of you guys are wondering what happened to Jeopardy this week, because I said we were going to do Jeopardy when we came back, but we just felt like it was probably wrong to do with the issues we were having with the servers to then come in and do an immediate show where we're just screwing off. So next week we will be doing Jeopardy to determine which one of these fellows joins me going to PAX Australia in July. So who will join me to a trip to Melbourne? We're going to do a special Firefall live version of Jeopardy next week. So be sure to join for that. See you guys next week.